Clear.
I had about 7 hours of tailwheel, and I had no mountain training when I went out to BC, but I did, in preparation for that, I did read a book on mountain flying, and the instructor that was doing my check ride as per the insurance requirements when I got out there, also did mountain check rides. So we did the tailwheel check ride, and then just before I left to head home, we flew into the mountains. It was supposed to be 3 hours of training, but he was watching the weather and knows the weather in the area, and he said, you know what, you need to leave today or you're going to be stuck here for a week, so we're going to do a 1 hour training in the mountains, and then you need to leave. So that's what we did. So there's actually a cigar lighter in this cockpit. Again, it's a 1969 Tailwheel. So sometime in the 60s, somebody thought it was a really good idea to have a cigar lighter in a fabric aircraft.
Great.
I was always interested in being an astronaut, and so I thought flying is one of the qualifications that they're looking for. So I got into flying to help me qualify for the Canadian astronaut program, and then I fell in love with flying. So, you know, it means a lot to me. It's the skill building and that I like to improve and as well as maintain. But really what it is, I'm finding, is it's a getaway from everything else. You know, your work day, I need to take my mind off things. When I get in the airplane, as soon as I turn the engine on, all I'm thinking about is the flying, you know, keeping myself safe, the passengers safe, the airplane safe. And I take off, I go flying, I come back, and I'm not thinking about anything else until I turn the engine off. So
Yeah.
it's a nice break, and a change is as good as a vacation, right?
Need an ident on that. Bravo Off Yankee, unable runway 31, aircraft doing taxi.
Bravo Yankee, remember.
The beauty and the inspiration of flying, not just the technical aspect of going that way, pulling that many G's, going at that speed, climbing at that altitude, but it's a lot by feel in aerobatics. My name is Anna Serpinenko. I'm also known as Sky Dancer. I'm an air show performer and the only female performer, civilian female performer in Canada. I'm also the chief flight instructor of Canadian Flight Center. That's where we are right now. And the aircraft that we are flying as a school is 26 of them, and it's everything from single engine, basic PPL training, all the way to tail draggers, twin engine, turbocharged, and all the variety of for the pilot playground.
Yeah, I'll go for that road. It's a little more...
Also, try not to be too close to the terrain when you're doing aerobatics.
yeah, okay.
You never know if it goes sideways, and if you need to bail one side or the other, you don't want to have the extra pressure of the mountain. Like one of the most beautiful shows I have done was in Nelson, BC. It was similar to this, like over the lake. Well, actually, it was a wider part of the river and surrounded by mountains and really close.
Right.
It was extremely hard to fly because you pull up, you're supposed to see the horizon, but all you see is trees.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
you
God.
have no idea where you are. But it was the most beautiful footage, video footage I ever got from a show because it was such a beautiful area.
That's amazing. Incredible. Okay.
So you're like, okay, if I'm parallel to the trees, I must be vertical.
I think if there is a pilot that says they haven't had a scary experience, it's either they are not confessing it or they just started flying. Because everybody who had a little bit of experience at some point or another will scare themselves, and aviation is where it gives you the test first experience afterwards.
Okay.
Working our way.
And you have the entry speed, so whenever you're ready.
Everyone ready? Okay. Pulling back to the side.
Okay, and we are falling out of it. Now keep pulling. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't pull very hard on that, did
You
I?
didn't pull any
Okay.
at all. So, what went wrong?
So yesterday I think I
After
was...
going down, you were under 2 Gs. At 2 Gs, you are not doing a loop.
Right.
So, you need to pull about 2.5. Some people say 3.8 up to 4 Gs. It might not be necessary, but at least over 2.5 for sure. So, let's do that again.
Aviation is also a very unforgiving environment. So the moment somebody gets relaxed and complacency, when you think you know it all and you don't need more studying, you don't need more practice, then that's when it turns around and bites you. And sometimes it's as simple as not looking out for traffic, and there are so many small planes flying around that you need to pay attention not to have a mid-air collision. Often enough, it's what we call get there-itis. I want to be there, I have to meet someone, and I have to be there on time, and they push the weather. Well, we're not flying medevac heart transplant. You know, every takeoff is optional, every landing is mandatory. And this is the pilot decision making more often than the lack of skill that puts us in trouble.
That's what we want, right?
Nice and stable, yeah. Another one?
Yeah, let's go again.
You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Good.
All right, 140.
Awesome.
Great, yeah.
Good job. You got it.
Cool.
All right. Just a warm-up or standard departure roll.
I think for me the best experience is any air show, because every time you're up there you obviously do aerobatics, you do what you love, but there is also the part where the show is not just the 10-minute of aerobatic routine, it's also the day of experience with people who are there to get into aviation. And if after a show there is one kid going home and they say, I want to become a pilot, and they become a pilot, that's already, it was worth it. And hopefully there is more than one, and that's the combined experience of sharing your aviation passion and flying aerobatics. I think nothing tops it.